Welcome back to the A Clan a Day podcast brought to you by bagtownclans.com. I'm your host, Colin MacDonald. Today we're journeying into the rich history of Clan Napier, a Lowland Scottish clan with a name that holds deep roots in Scottish legend and royal service. The Napiers have long been associated with the Earls of Lennox and have built a legacy of loyalty, innovation, and military prowess with their contributions spanning centuries of Scottish and global history. The origin of the Napier name is a fascinating blend of history and legend. According to one of the most well-known stories, the name derives from a court position, a naperer, a person responsible for the royal linen or napery. However, the Napiers' true Scottish roots reach back to one Donald, a son of an Earl of Lennox, who was said to have earned the praise of King William the Lion after an outstanding act of bravery in battle. According to the tale after the victory, the king declared that Donald had nae peer, meaning no equal, and thus the family took the name Napier in honour of his valour. This anecdote, though embellished by tradition, reflects the Napiers' long-standing connection to the royal house of Lennox, even though direct blood ties remain unconfirmed. The first recorded mention of a Napier in Scotland dates back to a charter by Malcolm, Earl of Lennox, sometime before 1290. In this document, the Earl granted lands in Kilmahue, Dunbartonshire, to John de Napier. This established the Napiers as a prominent family in the region, and they would hold Kilmahue for 18 generations. It wasn't long before the Napiers found themselves enmeshed in the dramatic political landscape of medieval Scotland. In 1296, John Napier of Dumbarton swore allegiance to Edward I of England, but like many Scots of the time, he would later resist English dominance, joining in the defence of Stirling Castle during the Wars of Scottish Independence. By the 15th century, the Napiers had become a powerful force in Edinburgh. Alexander Napier, a prominent merchant and the provost of Edinburgh, acquired the lands of Merchiston in 1436. His son, Sir Alexander Napier, also rose to prominence, serving as comptroller of the royal household and later as Vice Admiral of Scotland. His loyalty and service to the crown were further solidified when he helped rescue Joan Beaufort, the widow of King James I, from the clutches of a rebel faction. Sir Alexander's reward for this daring act of loyalty was the grant of lands in Livingston. As the Napiers' influence grew, so too did their tragedies in battle. The family saw multiple generations fall in some of Scotland's most devastating conflicts. John Napier, 3rd of Merchiston, was killed at the Battle of Sauchiburn in 1488. His grandson and great-grandson both fell at Flodden and Pinkie respectively in the early 16th century. Despite these losses, the Napiers remained resilient, continuing to serve their country with distinction. Of course, no discussion of the Napier clan would be complete without mentioning its most famous member, John Napier of Merchiston, born in 1550. Widely known as the Wizard of Merchiston, John Napier was a brilliant mathematician who revolutionised the world of mathematics with his invention of logarithms. His work in this area laid the foundation for modern computing and advanced scientific calculations. In addition to his contributions to mathematics, Napier was also an early agriculturalist, bringing innovative farming methods to Scotland. John's son, Archibald Napier, continued the family's legacy of royal service. He was created the first Lord Napier in 1627, a title that further solidified the clan's noble standing. Archibald, a staunch royalist, supported King Charles I during the Scottish Civil War, fighting alongside his brother-in-law, the renowned military leader James Graham, the Marquess of Montrose. Despite their efforts, the royalist cause suffered a crushing defeat at the Battle of Philiphaugh in 1645. and Lord Napier fled into exile where he eventually died. The Napier title passed through the female line when the third Lord Napier died without a male heir. His sister Margaret's son, Francis, became the fifth Lord Napier, and from there the family continued to distinguish itself, particularly in military service. The Napier family produced a remarkable number of high-ranking military leaders during the Napoleonic Wars. General Sir Charles Napier, a descendant of the Merchiston line, achieved great fame for his conquest of Sind in India, an achievement that earned him a statue in Trafalgar Square, London. In addition to their military exploits, the Napiers were also significant landholders and builders of some of Scotland's most notable castles. Merchiston Tower in Edinburgh, the ancestral home of the Napiers of Merchiston, still stands today as part of Edinburgh Napier University. Kilmahue Castle in Dunbartonshire, once the seat of the Napiers of Kilmahue, is now a ruin, but its history remains a testament to the family's long-standing prominence. Today, the Napier legacy is carried forward by Francis David Charles Napier, the 15th Lord Napier and 6th Baron Ettrick. While the clan does not possess a unified coat of arms, the chief's arms feature a striking design that echoes the family's ancient ties to the House of Lennox. Though Clan Napier may not be as large or well known as some of the Highland clans, their contributions to Scottish history, science and warfare have left an indelible mark. From their legendary origins to their distinguished service in both battle and the royal court, the Napiers have truly lived up to their motto, Napier. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the history of Clan Napier. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for another episode of a Clan a Day podcast. I'm Colin MacDonald, and as always, go Nary and both elite.